Hello, 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 and thank you for swinging by Veer Traveller's YouTube channel. Today, we're coming at you with a bumper broadcast about the most beautiful towns in Europe. It's been tough to narrow down, but big or small, each of these places has something unique to offer. There are links to every location's travel essentials in the video description, so if one piques your interest, check it out below. Now, strap yourselves in and put those tables in the upright position as we begin our descent into the 20 most beautiful towns in Europe that you need to visit. When most first-timers visit Italy, they head to the big cities like Florence, Venice, or Rome. But Positano, a teeny tiny village on the Amalfi Coast, is absolutely worth a visit. Ancient Romans had holiday villas in Positano where they can enjoy the cool sea breeze, mild climate, and lush landscape. In the 20th century, it became a well-known luxury destination for the rich and famous, such as American author John Steinbeck, who once wrote, "Positano is a dream place that isn't quite real when you're there, and becomes beckoningly real after you've gone." Today, Positano remains a beloved but underappreciated gem with a pleasant climate throughout the year and at least 3 cliffside beaches. History lovers will also enjoy exploring this tiny village, which features historic churches, unique artwork, and ancient ruins open to tourists. These include one-of-a-kind Roman crypts and the remainder of a 1st century villa famous for its preserved bright colours. When you arrive in the small town of Interlaken in Switzerland, you might feel like you've stepped into a fairy tale. The village lies in the midst of the Alps, just between Lake Thun and Lake Prinz. Surrounded by beautiful waterways and overlooking some of the most breathtaking scenery of the mountains, Interlaken became popular in the 19th century as a destination for landscape painters. Eventually, it became a spa resort for wealthy European visitors who needed the fresh mountain air. Today, the town is a major destination for sports enthusiasts. Skiing, hiking, and snowshoeing are popular throughout the year, as are water sports on the 2 nearby lakes or the River Aare, cable car rides to the top of the mountain, and cultural festivals throughout the year. And of course, if you're feeling really adventurous, you can get a paragliding lesson over the mountains, seeing the Alps from a viewpoint that most people never have the opportunity to. Except the eagles. The next time you take a trip to France, do yourself a favour. Skip the tourist crowds and the bustle of Paris. Seriously. Instead, why not head to Beaune, a small town at the heart of France's most famous wine region. Sometimes called the capital of Burgundy wines, Beaune is not just one place where French wine is made. It's the epicenter of a whole network of winemaking towns. Wine lovers won't want to miss this famous and fascinating spot with centuries of history behind it. And of course, more than a few wine tasting opportunities. With a population of just over 20,000, this town in northeast France isn't exactly tiny, but with hundreds of years of fascinating culture, art, and history, Beaune will make you feel like you're in another world. In addition to the fantastic wine culture, the town has some exceptional dining and shopping opportunities. Every Saturday features an open-air food market where tourists and locals browse stalls of the finest locally made goods. Beaune is a place where you'll eat and drink very well. The town of Volendam in the Netherlands looks like a painting come to life. It's a perfectly picturesque town of around 22,000 people sitting on the shore of the North Sea. Here you'll see everything that makes the Netherlands so beautiful. Tulips, historic unique architecture, windmills, and no shortage of wooden shoes, aka clogs. Volendam's physical beauty, along with its historical and cultural significance, made it a popular subject in classical art throughout the 19th century. There are countless spots to explore, including the colourful houses to the historic fishing village. Today, tourists are still drawn to the beauty and cultural expression of the region, especially the distinctive traditional costumes. You might not see them walking down the streets anymore, but they're on full display yearly during the Volendam Festival. If you know anything about skiing or the Swiss Alps, you've probably heard of the town of Zermatt. It's the site of one of the most famous mountain resorts in Switzerland. Resting in the Matter Valley, Zermatt is at an elevation of more than 5,000 feet, offering scenery that you can't find anywhere else in the world, including the famous Matterhorn. With a thriving tourism industry, the town offers countless things to do. Cable or electric cars provide rides throughout the city. There are plenty of great dining and shopping spots around Zermatt, making it a great place to explore at any time of year. Of course, breaking out your skis is also well worth it. After all, this is some of the most famous skiing land in the world. The Austrian town of Hallstatt might have affected your life already, even if you've never been there. You might have already tasted Hallstatt. How, you might ask? Well, the town's famous salt mine is one of the oldest working salt mines in the world, dating back to prehistoric times, and produces 12 million tons of salt every year. That's not the only thing that attracts people to Hallstatt. Visiting Hallstatt is worth it just for the views, rumoured to have inspired the kingdom of Arendelle in Disney's Frozen. Just be forewarned, you might have a hard time accessing this fairy tale town. Since 2020, the village has been cracking down on over-tourism. If you make the cut, it's well worth a visit, so take the opportunity when it arises. Thinking of driving through town? Well, pull over, sucker! The Dutch village of Giethoorn prefers to do things a little differently. Instead of roads here, you'll find walking paths and fascinating small waterways that run through town. The most common forms of transit are boat, bicycle, and foot. With this in mind, it should come as no surprise that Giethoorn has that one-of-a-kind feel. Its network of small canals that wind through the village have earned it the nickname the Venice of the Netherlands. Not a bad feat considering just how many cities in the Netherlands are crisscrossed with canals. The town itself can only be reached by boat and is home to a whopping 176 bridges, many of which are historic. The town is also known for its lush flowers such as hydrangeas, making for one of the most beautiful tourist destinations in the Netherlands. Many of Europe's most beautiful places are relatively unheard of, small towns and hidden gems that tell the true story of the continent's countless historical and cultural riches. Then there are towns like Bruges in Belgium, well-travelled destinations that live up to the hype. This town is a hub of stunning architecture, fascinating history, unique culture, and fantastic nightlife. Bruges has been settled since the Middle Ages and is one of Europe's best preserved historic towns. Walking down the street is a walk through centuries of history, with cobblestone roads, historic bridges, and medieval buildings on every side. The town is canal-based, so you'll almost always find yourself walking along the water. It's also one of the most incredible places to take in rich Flemish art and culture, which many tourists might have yet to experience. You'll want to take a few days out of your schedule to see all that Bruges has to offer, but it's definitely no place to lay low from the law. You're much better off in Coventry. Outdated Colin Farrell reference checked off the list, moving on! Want to explore a side of Germany you won't find in your average guidebook? Take a jaunt over to Bacharach, a village in western Germany. With a population of roughly 1,800, Bacharach is undeniably a hidden gem. It stands on a section of the River Rhine known as the Romantic Rhine, thanks to its Roman roots, as well as an abundance of medieval castles, adorable small towns and villages, picturesque local vineyards, and all-around beautiful scenery. Filled with Gothic architecture and cute crooked houses dating back to the 1500s, it's a simply charming place to take a stroll. The town is overlooked by Stark Castle, which dates back to the 12th century, and now serves as a hostel for visitors. There's a bevy of historical buildings and even ancient ruins open for tourists to explore. But whatever you're doing, whether you're enjoying a coffee at an outdoor cafe or taking a Rhine River tour, Bacharach offers something beautiful everywhere you look. It should surprise absolutely no one that our list includes Capri, one of the most famous tourist destinations in the Mediterranean. This island has been one of Italy's most popular holiday spots since Roman times. Today, Capri's beautiful climate, stunning scenery, and fantastic history draw thousands of visitors every year from both mainland Italy and around the world. Capri also has some of Italy's most stunning architecture. The island is home to 12 churches, many historical sites, and even natural wonders like the Blue Grotto, a coastal cave bathed in breathtaking natural blue light. The grotto is also known for the ancient Roman art on its walls, including statues and graffiti. Though swimming is banned in the cave, visitors can see it up close on boat tours. Whether you're relaxing on the warm beach beside the famous harbour, touring an antique museum, doing some boutique shopping, or encountering rare native animal life, or even celebrity life, Capri certainly has something for you. Rothenburg ob der Tauber is a small town in Bavaria in southern Germany, and it's the most beautiful German town you've never heard of. In fact, the city is so picturesque that it's become a popular spot for filming movies or modelling animation, including classics like Pinocchio and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The nearby scenery of forests, farmland, and the Tauber River that gives the town its name simply add to the beauty. Like many other towns in Europe, it dates from the Middle Ages, but unlike many of these towns, Rothenburg ob der Tauber has been immaculately preserved over centuries, not losing an ounce of its original character. Even today, visiting this town is like stepping back in time. It also has a plethora of historic buildings and museums to explore. History buffs will enjoy touring the town's famous criminal museum, exhibits of ancient weapons, and the historic dungeon. Bayeux is a gorgeous medieval town in Normandy, France, with numerous claims to fame. It's home to the famous Bayeux tapestry, which depicts the events leading up to the Norman conquest of England and the Battle of Hastings in 1066. It was also the first major town secured by the Allies during Operation Overlord, commonly referred to as D-Day. Consequently, Bayeux is also home to the Bayeux War Cemetery, just a short walk from the historic centre of the Old Town. It is the largest World War II British Commonwealth cemetery in France. Most famous of all, though, it is home to the stunning Bayeux Cathedral. This magnificent Roman Catholic church was first laid down in the 12th century and slowly added to, restored, and modified over the next 700 years. Don't forget your camera. If you thought it was stunning on the outside, just wait until you see the interior. Slovenia might not be at the top of your bucket list when it comes to vacation spots, but that's likely because you've never considered it, or even heard of it. Shame on you. And believe you me when I say it totally deserves a place on any traveller's bucket list. One of the best places to visit is the town of Bled, located in the mountains of northwest Slovenia on Lake Bled. The landscape here has some of Europe's most beautiful and unique features. The Julian Alps provide an otherworldly backdrop, as do the forests of the nearby plateaus overlooking the lake. The town is also famous for Bled Castle, which has towered over the lake since the 11th century. Before the ravages of communism, the glacier-formed lake, crisp mountain air, and mild climate made it a popular resort spot for the upper crust in the 20th century. That crust is only just starting to return, and you'll still find Bled to be very friendly to your wallet. Today, Bled welcomes tourists who enjoy its one-of-a-kind culture, food, history, and outdoor sports such as hiking and boating. Ask anyone who has extensively travelled France, and they'll tell you that the real magic is not in Paris, but is found in the towns dotting the French countryside. One of these is Annecy, which with a population of 50,000 is less of a town and more of a small city. Regardless, from one glance, it's obvious that so many people want to call this beautiful place home. Annecy is a canal city, earning it the name the Venice of the Alps. The River Too, which winds through the oldest part of the city, provides a beautiful backdrop as visitors stroll the cobblestone streets. It is also surrounded by several mountains visible from Lake Annecy. In addition to the lovely natural scenery, Annecy is home to many historical buildings, including Annecy Castle, which now serves as a museum. It has become a popular tourist destination, particularly for outdoor sports enthusiasts, who head to the mountains throughout the year to enjoy hiking, skiing, snowshoeing, snowboarding, and other activities. The lake is also a major attraction during the summer, mainly thanks to Annecy's warm, pleasant climate. Bergen is the second largest city in Norway, only beaten by the capital city, Oslo. Like other towns on this list, it has incredible things to do, see, and learn, from historic architecture to unique museums and fascinating culture. So what makes Bergen so special, apart from being flipping freezing? The main reason comes down to its unique natural surroundings. The city, which has been populated for at least 1,000 years, is known as the City of Seven Mountains. Heck, the word Bergen literally translates to the mountains. It is also built on a series of fjords, a significant tourist attraction in their own right. These natural sights are impressive enough, but it turns genuinely magical during the summer solstice when the sun never truly sets. It's incredible to see a massive metropolitan area surrounded by such unique beauty, making Bergen one of our must-visit towns when you're travelling Europe. If you want to visit a truly unforgettable European town, head to the Czech Republic, aka Czechia, to visit the town of Český Krumlov. This beautiful town is located just south of Prague. It is one of the country's most popular tourist destinations thanks to its lovely historic architecture and marvellous surrounding views of the Bohemian forest foothills. Much of the nearby countryside is protected land, meaning Český Krumlov sits amidst a metaphorical sea of unspoiled beauty. However, one of the most fascinating things about the city is just how long it's been inhabited. A lot of the remaining structures in the historic district date back to the 1200s, though the area has been populated since the Stone Age. Český Krumlov also stood on a vital trading route throughout much of European history, bringing together traders, architects, and artists from all over the continent and beyond. They left behind a unique blend of styles, making this city a beloved tourist destination. Some places go down in history because they're so beautiful. They draw visitors from all over the world. And that's just what happened with Sintra, a city on the Atlantic coast of Portugal. Sintra has been attracting visitors since literal antiquity, thanks to its breathtaking scenery, both natural and manufactured. One of the city's most famous features is its colourful buildings, which turn Sintra into an explosion of brightness. The Palacio de Peña is a well-known one that overlooks the region from the nearby Sintra Mountains. The city's architecture is a glorious combination of European, Gothic and Moorish styles, making it a scene that you can't find anywhere else on Earth. The nearby Montserrat Palace is also worth a visit, not just because of its fairy tale interior, but also because of its famous botanical gardens, among Europe's very best. And of course, the beaches are a paradise all on their own. When it comes to historical beauty, there's almost nowhere in Europe as famous as Greece. The stunning architecture, contrasting with the enchanting Mediterranean landscape, makes the country a true marvel. So of course, we had to include one of Greece's most idyllic towns on our list, and that town is Castrati, a village in the region of Thessaly. Castrati is known for its fascinating rock formations, which tower far above the town and serve as a fascinating cultural symbol. These rock formations, known as the Meteora, are home to several ancient monasteries. Unsurprisingly, the region has become a hugely popular spot for adventurous travellers, history buffs, and art lovers, and it's worth a visit no matter what you're into. San Sebastian is a large city located on the Bay of Biscay in Spain, just a short distance from the French border. It's no secret why it's such a great place to visit. With a warm to mild climate, this city features glorious beaches and is surrounded by a picturesque hilly region that provides a stunning backdrop. San Sebastian is in Basque country, which means you'll hear both Basque and Spanish as you explore the city. It's been nicknamed Spain's Pearl of the North, thanks to its unique culture and mesmerizing scenery. The city is renowned for its Belle Epoque buildings, such as the Miramar Palace and the Victoria Eugenie Theatre. As for other things to do in this jaw-dropping coastal region, foodies will want to note San Sebastian offers a world-renowned culinary scene you won't want to miss. Some of the UK's most stunning and fascinating spots are the small towns throughout the green and pleasant English countryside. One of these is Castle Combe, a well-known village in Wiltshire with a population of less than 400. Despite its minuscule size, it easily merits being on our list, as it's widely considered one of the most stunning places in England. The village has gained a reputation as the most beautiful village in the Cotswolds. That's saying something, as the Cotswolds region in southwest England has received legal protection because of its natural and historical significance and outstanding natural beauty. Aside from being as charming as charm itself, Castle Combe itself is a unique piece of history and hasn't erected a new building in 400 years. If you've ever wondered what England looked like prior to the English Civil War, there's no better place to find it than this picture postcard perfect village. So there you have it, a mighty list of all the most beautiful villages, towns and cities to visit in Europe. And for travellers serious about seeing the very best of Europe, I implore you to make time to visit each one if you can. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see more travel related content, subscribe to the Via Travellers channel, check out our travel resources in the video description, and come see us at viatravellers.com. I am still James, and I'll catch you later. Ciao!